Warning! We are about to spoil A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. If you haven't seen the movie and you plan on watching it, leave now and come back later. But if you have seen it, or you just don't care, then please stick around. Oh, Cameron, I'm glad to see you again. So, you went to the place, right?
The place? What place?
Cameron, I need you to remember, in order for the world not to end, to go to this KFC, the one right there that you are seeing, and then go in there and just grab a single straw, and everything will be okay.
Okay, got it. I'll do that. Oh, right. I completely forgot.
How did you forget?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Cinema Roulette. And man, I wish I could sound more excited for this one, but really I'm not.
You know, I'm pretty sure when we started the series wheel, we said that at least every movie in this series has something entertaining. I guess we're technically wrong.
Yeah, because this was, I think, the only movie in the series that neither of us saw.
Yeah.
And boy, we lost that bet.
I would debate on a technical level, this isn't as bad as some other horror franchises get.
Mm-hmm.
Technically.
Yeah. Still has the most consistently enjoyable movies, at the very least, I'd say.
Oh, Evil Dead's right there.
That is also true, and Evil Dead, yeah.
We're not talking about Evil Dead.
No, we are not. This is Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
Well, at least after that silence, there wasn't a copyrighted song for the intro, so
Yeah, at the very
YouTube
least.
will be happy with that.
Just generic horror music. Don't even get a bitchin' theme for this one.
We get a rap in the credits, does that count?
I guess. Oh boy, yeah, we didn't have high expectations for this one, and somehow it managed to fall below even that.
Like, we'll get into it after, because there's a synopsis here. Stuff does happen in this movie.
Stuff does, in fact, happen.
So, we open. I'm not even going to preamble or anything. We open with some fucking.
Yep.
Not even heavily detailed fucking, because the MPAA was riding everyone's ass with this movie. So, here's some bodies and blue light on a bed. They're probably fucking.
Yeah. Can't even really tell which part of the body is being shown at any point in time.
I really couldn't. And I was like, am I just bad with anatomy?
No. I think that's just called bad cinematography.
Or maybe that's the point. It's more horrific to be a sea of flesh. Oh, I forgot to write down the one chick who's gonna survive. But anyway, we see Alice again after all the. She was fucking Dan. That's right. We got two of the actors to come back.
Yep.
And after some fucking, I'm just seeing how many times I can say fucking before YouTube gets mad. Alice goes and takes a shower. But it becomes a dirty shower. It starts to fill up more and more because it's a nightmare. Ooh! She breaks the glass door, but finds herself in the insane asylum from the last movie. Or, not last movie, the movie before that. The third one.
The good one.
Oh my god, I'm Yeah, I'm in a mindset for this. I'm trying so hard
You
to
are.
not be in this negative of a mood, but it's going to stay.
It's fine.
Either way, we're in the insane asylum and we see the moment before Freddy's mom got assaulted. That is the most I'm going to mention of it. We're moving on.
Yep.
Because then Alice wakes up in bed and thinks Dan is next to her, but then Dan goes out of frame, and then Freddy Krueger with his skin is there, and she throws him off, and then she's awake.
Oh.
And it's graduation day at the high school, because we gotta blow this popsicle stand.
He's not making a joke. They actually say that in the movie.
It's great. If you're a Dead Meat fan, you've heard that line a few times.
Oh, yeah.
So we get a bit of a recap of survivors. Dan is still Dan. Alice has forgotten Kung Fu. Alice's dad has cleaned himself up a bit and is less of a shitbag and isn't an alcoholic, so good for him.
Yeah, I say about how he's gone to AA meetings and gotten clean, so nice.
We have friends like Greta and Mark and what is the other girl's name?
Yvonne.
Thank you.
Yep.
And Yvonne. All these people who will probably die in the coming minutes. Like, look, even if you think I'm sounding overly negative, they hardly sub these people.
They really do.
Mark,
like, usually they have something where it's like, oh, this is the fear, and that's going to play into it, but they're just here, and they are very clearly the meatbags.
yeah, Greta is has her mother wanting her to be a model, so she's like has a food problem. Mark is into comic books, but also hates the sight of blood. And one more time,
Yvonne.
Yvonne. I'm gonna write it down. Hold on.
Doesn't even have to be spelled right. It's spelled weird. Just spell it phonetically so you remember it.
Yeah. And Yvonne is she swims,
Yeah, she likes swimming. She likes working out.
but not like the last movie. So anyway, graduation pictures happen. Alice goes to the park, is having a nice time, but the ghost girls are there.
Ooh.
And then she follows the ghost girls into the bushes, and they sing the song different, because this time it's 9-10 phrase back again. And due to fucking up the song, it summons a cool matte painting of a gothic hospital.
It is pretty rad.
It is. There's at least still some decent effects in this movie. Alice goes to church, and then after wandering around for a bit through a pretty decent match cut, she is suddenly on a hospital bed or gurney, dragged into a surgery room, but then she sees herself in the crowd of doctors that are holding her down, and then she is there, looking at the person on the table, which is Miss Krueger, Frey's mom. It's the night she gave birth, and the doctors are like, "Oh, good, you had a baby," and another nun is there, is like, "See, you gave life." But Amanda Krueger says, "No, fuck that. That's a demon baby," and it is a demon baby. It's a gross little freaky baby.
Yeah, really cool doll, animatronic doll, honestly.
Yeah. Which then falls to the floor and then scampers away out of the room. And then we end up back in the church from the end of the last movie. And Freddy Baby crawls into the sweater that Freddy left behind and becomes Freddy. And he goes, "It's a boy!"
It's pretty great.
Because Robert Englund's the only one giving any fun lines in this movie.
Honestly, yeah. He's also very bitch focused.
Oh, he says bitch so much in this one.
Yeah.
And he's about to attack Alice, but then his ghost mom shows up and she's like, "Fuck off." And Frey fucks off. And then ghost mom's like, "Find me in the tower," to Alice. Which Alice is going to hear this and then ignore it for a week. Or was it? All right, Alice ignoring things. Anyway, I'm sure ignoring things won't mean anything bad. Also, the reason Alice was in the park is she was going back to work at the diner, which would... I forget if we caught this in the last movie, but it's called the Crave Inn.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
great. I'm pretty sure we caught that.
I think we did, yeah.
Either way, Alice gets to, after this dream, because she chases Frey's mom, who goes behind the church doors and then ends up at work, and her coworkers there is like, why the fuck are you 4 hours late?
What?
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah, thanks for nothing. And then her coworker leaves, and she's got to work the night shift. But of course, Alice decides to call Dan immediately, like, yo, Frey's back. And Dan is at the school pool. This is where we learn a bit more about the meat sacks for later.
Yep.
But we're just not going to care about that. Dan gets the call and is like, okay, I will be right over. Because Dan is the only other smart person in this movie. So Dan starts driving, but he nods off. So, Frey does a pretty decent kill on him where we get to see, like, cool car stuff. And sorry, a very loud echo of me just came back at me.
Is it gone now?
Yeah, it's gone now.
Okay.
We'll just talk about the kills later because we need to praise something about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, Dan dies. He gets in a car crash right outside of the diner. Alice sees him, but his corpse comes to life for a minute with Frey's voices like, come join your boyfriend. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the quote.
Pretty sure, yeah.
This causes her to pass out, and then she wakes up in the hospital. Dan is dead. Alice is preggers, but the doctors don't want to say that yet. But then she just kind of knows later anyway, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making that entirely pointless.
She tries to explain to her friends that, yo, this dude is gonna murder you in your dreams, which has happened at least 3 times now in this town.
You would think by now they would be, like, putting 2 and 2 together, like something else is clearly going on. This cannot be all a coincidence.
I say 3 because I still don't know if Nightmare 2 is canon. If it is, 4 times.
Yeah. If it is canon, that means that's an entire party of people just dead.
Yeah, that's more confusing if Nightmare 2 is canon, because there was a party of people dead.
Yeah, but never really mentioned again.
Whatever.
Actually, even in the previous ones, now that I think about it, just skipped over. And it was definitely not the worst one, Dream Child, but...
You can't cough about the movie we're talking about.
I just did. What you gonna do?
Edit it out.
Damn it.
Idiot.
I hold the power.
You're not God here. The machine is.
Exactly. Anyway, moving on.
Sorry, I was having fun. You're right. I'll get back to the movie. We cut to Greta. Did you remember her name was Greta? I sure didn't.
Nope.
She's at a rich person party with her family, and she doesn't want to eat anything. She kind of even snaps at her mother, who's like, come on, just eat something, honey. No, fuck you. You just want me to vomit it up anyway. And then I guess she nods off or passes. It's not explained how she fell asleep.
I did catch how, actually. It was so quick that it's easy to miss. It's because the whole thing where she flipped out saying, oh, you just want me to vomit up anyway, that was, I think, implied to already be in the dream. Because you see her at one point putting her hand on her head, and then she looks to the side. And then it cuts back to the woman at the dinner table, and that's when the argument starts. I think that right there is the point she fell asleep, or it was implied to be. It just happened so fast.
How do you have such an overbearing mother let you pass out at a dinner party?
I don't know. It's one of the many issues.
Sorry,
with this
I'm
movie.
thinking again.
Yeah. We'll get into the issues with the script.
But yeah, Greta passes out. Eddie comes in as a chef and literally stuffs her face till she chokes to death. She also appears quickly in Alice's fridge while she's trying to make dinner because, Alice is still connected to she's still the dream master.
Yeah. It's just before Freddy could only get her in her dreams, and now for some reason he can do it when she's awake. I wonder why.
The baby.
Shut up, Samus.
So I forgot to mention when Alice was in the hospital, she saw some kid whose name is Jacob.
Yep.
If you're like, damn, I swear I know that kid, he's the kid that gets threatened at the beginning of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, where Dr. Grant takes the velociraptor thing and says it can go across your stomach.
I love talking about how I want to eviscerate children. Anyway. But yeah, Greta dies, and then Alice tries to tell her two remaining friends, like, yo, this is real. What I told you is true. That's why Greta is dead. Yet Yvonne is still like, that was just a silly accident. At the very least, Mark is a bit more on her side. Like, okay, if you can actually explain this to me,
Yeah.
I might believe you. Which then Alice and Mark go back to Mark's place, which is a whole comic book like his own printing studio that he just has in some building.
Yeah, he likes to draw and he has studio with all these books and shit. Yeah, he's the nerd character, I guess.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Mark gets turned into Take on Me because there was a picture of the Freddy house. Yeah, it took this long to show the Freddy house.
Yeah, shocking.
And then Alice draws a shitty little stick figure and writes Alice above it so she can get into the drawing too.
Yeah.
And finds Mark going into a dream hole. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Pulls him out, but then he sees his hands were cut because he was holding on to like the being up wooden floor. So he passes out. I guess he double sleeps.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then Jacob's here again. Instead of worrying about going and finding, her friend who is definitely in trouble, she just kind of talks to Jacob for a bit.
Yeah, because, like, he kind of, like, passes out and falls on the floor and then poofs, right?
Yeah, I guess if you double sleep, you get out of the dream.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if you wake up, like, it's supposed to be something like in the nightmare or something attacks and you're just like, so... I'm assuming that's what they were going for. Just never made it clear.
Yeah. Some more arguing happens. With Yvonne, and she still doesn't believe anything that's going on, even though Mark has fucking cuts in his hands.
Yeah, did you not see his hands?
He shows them, but fine, whatever. Alice is going to go into the dream world and try to figure some shit out. And Mark is on watch duty to make sure if anything starts being weird, he wakes her up. But also, Yvonne is at the pool, the school pool that is most likely closed because they graduated me in summer break, but whatever.
Well, remember he said at the beginning, I have the pool keys.
Yeah, but why are you there alone? That seems like such a bad idea.
It does. No, it'd be an even worse idea, getting into a jacuzzi alone.
A jacuzzi alone while you're already tired because you admit you haven't slept in days?
Yup.
Which she does, and then Yvonne is also sucked into a nightmare. Luckily, Alice finds her as well while dreamwalking. Saves Yvonne, but sadly Mark has passed out while on watch duty, so Mark gets killed in a pretty neat way, honestly.
Yeah, very creative.
He gets turned into a comic book. He even becomes the character he was drawing and shoots Freddy, but then Freddy comes back as Super Freddy and chops him up. But he's like a thin paper dude now, so instead of bleeding blood, he bleeds all the color out of him. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the future Power Glove kill, but better. Yvonne now believes Alice because, yeah. And Alice remembers, oh, right. Amanda Kruger told me something. I should go ask her. So Alice goes back to sleep and tells Yvonne, yo, go to the asylum and go look for Amanda Kruger, because I think if we find her body and put her to rest, it'll be fine. Oh, yeah, Mark also did some research, and it turns out Amanda Kruger's grave, there's no body in there. It's an empty grave. They never found her body.
Yep.
So now it's race against time, and we have a fight with Freddy, and it turns out Freddy has been... This was explained in a scene too. I didn't take the notes. Look, this movie's fucking boring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is I will say, this is probably the most unprofessional episode we've had in a good while.
In a
And I
while,
don't
yeah.
care.
But this movie isn't worth it.
There was a scene earlier, and Alice got an ultrasound to make sure the baby wasn't dead because she kind of figured out Jacob is her baby. But then she fell asleep and is sucked into the ultrasound, and Freddy shows off that he's putting evil souls into the baby, I guess to make a Freddy 2 electric boogaloo.
Yep.
And that's why the dream sequences keep popping up randomly for Alice, because the baby is falling asleep and dreaming. We'll explain how that's a problem later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's going in to save her baby, and the ghost Jacob is running between her and Freddy. Luckily, Alice makes it in time to breaks down a wall. No, not Alice. Yvonne breaks down a wall to find Amanda Kruger's body, and then literally just touches it and it disappears. Yeah, sure.
Laid to rest. Good enough.
Thank goodness the 60 doves in that fucking room just touched the corpse.
Honestly.
Either way, Amanda Kruger comes into the dream world and stops Freddy. He gets pulled apart by the souls because Jacob lies to him saying, "I'm ready to be with you, Freddy." And Freddy's like, "Oh, my boy." And then this boy's like, just kidding. So the souls rip Freddy apart and pull the baby Freddy out of older Freddy, which goes to Amanda Kruger, and then Amanda Kruger shoves that baby back in her stomach, and Jacob goes back in Alice's stomach. The movie's over.
And they're at the park, and movie ends. Great. Okay.
Oh yeah, they are at the park with the baby, and we see technically the foreground, but
yeah.
We see the girls jumping rope again, implying there will be another movie, which will be definitely more ridiculous than this, but at least it's fucking entertaining.
Exactly. So that was, yeah.
At the end, do we start with the negative or the positive?
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like we should start with the positive because there's a lot less to talk about.
Yeah, it's true. Well, yeah, there's one thing to talk about.
Yeah. Like, this is a movie where it seems like the general consensus, even online, like even with trying to find information for this movie, everyone's just like, yeah, it exists, moving on.
Hold on, wait, we said we're talking about the positive.
But,
I was about to tangent so hard.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, it was a little tricky, and it was just inherently, I think, with the production was the issue, because I think the reason that the good, just on a little tangent first, the reason the good sticks out is because this was a movie where they figured out the title first and then drew it around that. And I think they had like sequences in mind, because I was reading a bit about how the director was telling Robert Englund about the Asherian staircase sequence and all that, and I think they had those sequences in mind and just wrote everything else around it. Because the dream sequences are honestly, and the kills are really good and really well shot and creative.
Yeah, I won't lie, this is probably some of the best dream stuff in the series. It gets really trippy.
Yeah, and I really respect it for that. Like, there's cool sequences in this movie. All the kills, like we said, the bike kill is awesome because like it tricks you by making you think he switched cars and then he got on a motorcycle, but the motorcycle starts eating him and he morphs into it like some fucking cyberpunk shit, and then explodes. And yeah, it's just,
I'd even give Dan's kill more because it's like Freddy at first is in the truck and he like takes some champagne that Dan was going to share with Alice and pours it out. Well, first he drinks and spits on the dash and starts burning like acid, makes a joke about how it's a bad year, pours it on his arm, which allows him to tear it off, and he puts it elsewhere. It's all weird and fucked up, and you see all the fucked up gear shifts and stuff in the car.
And like Freddy's face becomes part of the bike. He's like, haha, talking to him. It's really well done. Like, it's just a lot of these, and like you said, the cartoon kills very creative. Like, I just wish that these were in a better movie, because like it's one of those things where I like them when they happen, but the rest of the movie just puts you to sleep so much that you're just kind of, by the time you get them, you're like, oh, here we are.
It's I think we said this too while watching. There's just no threat. Like, you have
Yeah.
the whole setup of the baby is dreaming, so Freddy can attack any time.
Yep.
And then he doesn't.
Yeah. That's it. But yeah, so that's good. And I mean, honestly, Robert Englund's having a ball as always, so he's great in this.
Alice is giving the best she can, but there's just nothing in this script to work with.
There really isn't. Yeah, and like the effects are all really fucking cool and disgusting too. I really like those when they happen.
Minus the one effect of her busting out of the shower.
Oh,
It's some really bad CG.
that looked so bad. Yeah, like, and it took him a while to get the CG, because the part where the one guy is sucked into the comic book before his kill, that looked fine, but everything else before that looked meh.
Yeah, because he gets like he gets rotoscoped in, basically. It looks like Take On Me. It's a pretty solid effect.
Yeah, honestly. So, but
I also like the joke of when he falls asleep, because he suddenly finds a comic that's like just called Nightmares or something.
Yeah.
And it looks like storyboards of the movie, and then he gets to a page where it's mostly blank except for him reading a comic.
Yeah, on the first one it's like, oh shit. Okay, cool reveal.
Yeah, a fun, dreamlike way to set it up, and then you get sucked in and you do the whole comic book fight. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
Exactly.
Even Greta's death with stuffing her face. I kind of like how she looks like a fucking garbage pail.
She does,
kid.
yeah. They get the really big poofy cheeks and the stuff coming out of it. Yeah, it's very interesting, very creative.
I guess the one more point of this was late 80s, early 90s, so the MPAA was being pricks, because it's all they did with horror movies since they were doing well.
Yeah. And they've been restored since, but I can talk about that briefly too. Upon its release, the movie was also subjected to some cuts in the sequences of Dan, Mark's, and Greta's deaths to avoid being classified X. An unrated version of the film, which contained longer, more graphic version of Dan, Greta's, and Mark's death scenes, were originally released on VHS and Laserdisc. In his scene, like, some of the cables sliding under his arm and like the skin being torn off was cut. And in Greta's scene, Freddy, the scene at the end where he slices open the stomach and like he feeds it to her, that was cut. So there was just a lot that was actually like deleted from it, which was later restored. But yeah, the MPAA was clamping down super hard at this time.
I will say, even without those, they're still very good and fun kills.
Exactly. Yeah, they were able to work their way around that for the most part.
But yeah, Robert Englund's having a fun time. I guess whoever's playing Amanda Kruger does a fine job too.
Yeah, it's a different actress. Let me see. Beatrice Bopel is Amanda Kruger. Yeah, she was previously played by Nan Martin in Dream Warriors.
I'm sorry, her last name's Bopel?
Boepple. Yep, Beatrice Bopel.
It's a fun last name.
It is.
Bopel.
And that's about the positives.
Yeah, that sounded good.
So, my God, I think this movie's biggest sin is that, like, A, there's no tension, and B, it's just boring for the most part.
Even though we've been with Alice for a whole movie, she doesn't feel like she's grown in any way.
Yeah. Like, it just feels like kind of the same old Alice. Now there's this problem. And like you said, like, she forgot the kung fu that she learned, which was awesome.
Or weightlifting,
or any
the
of
math
that could fight back at Freddy. It's just kind of back to square one. There's no character growth.
I guess technically their souls went up into heaven or whatever at the end of the last movie, but still.
Yeah, like you could have done anything with her. It just seems like there was no care put into like the characters. It like, and that's why I was saying about the script. It just feels like the plot was secondary to the kills and the concept. Like there's nothing to attach you to these characters really. Like the only reason Alice is like halfway decent is because we know her from the previous movie. Like none of the other ones are really developed at all, which is a huge issue.
And also, like, yeah, they didn't care about the plot to focus on the kills, but also the plot is just so nothing. It
Yeah.
feels like a first draft at best.
It really does. Like it's just really hard to pinpoint a specific area, but the whole thing is just so shoddily written. It's like, did you guys not do anything with this here? Like, I know for a fact that like horror movies are not known for their very deep characters, but there has to be something there, you know?
I need to at least somewhat want them to survive, otherwise
Yeah.
you just become 2000s horror.
Exactly.
And also, this movie faced a bunch of like constant rewrites,
Yeah.
apparently.
They were like, even at the beginning, they were rewriting it. I'm sure during the production, they were rewriting it, and it shows. Like, there's like certain lines that are just weird, and there are like certain reads too, where it's like, did you guys not do another take of that line or something?
Were were we short on time that day? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Like, yeah.
Also, hold on, should we just talk about the baby?
Let's talk about the baby, because.
Okay, first off, just being, this is already a horror movie with a dream demon attacking kids, so we're not going for pure realism here. However, Alice is, at best, a few weeks pregnant. Baby ain't dreaming yet.
Yeah, baby doesn't.
Medically speaking, that baby ain't dreaming yet.
Yeah. From a sheer technical standpoint, yeah, like, or medical standpoint, yeah, like, I think it's until like what 7 or 8 weeks their brain starts to develop.
Where it develops enough for that, I'm pretty sure, is a couple of months.
Months, or sorry, I meant like, yeah, like 5 to 7 months, something like that. So, yeah, that just is not how that works.
Hold on, I want to make sure we're right. Quick Google. Yeah, basically third trimester.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so therein is a big issue. The whole concept of your movie is just no. If anyone has basic knowledge about pregnancy,
Also, Mark does bring up the point. Why not just lose the baby?
yeah,
Which, yeah, okay, it would also be the last bit of Dan dying or whatever. It's being possessed by a demon at the moment who can now attack you at random.
yeah, at
I
random.
think your life comes first.
Yeah, you literally lost 4 hours and had no idea how you ended up there.
Your friends are going to start dying around you again.
Yeah.
Maybe, take a step ahead here. Also, I think they're with the opening line where she's like, I felt like I was out of control after the first nightmare, this is causing her to not be fully Dream Master.
Really? Oh god.
That's the only reason I could think of why she isn't able to fight back easier.
That's it. Like there's just nothing given to that. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like there's a difference between hinting at something and like not giving enough information.
But also in that case, hey, I think you'd rather choose being able to fight the demon trying to kill you than the baby.
And it's like, you're put in a terrible position because either way someone's gonna die, but like one life over the lives of all your friends?
Also, if that baby gets, possessed by a demon, that's gonna suck a little bit.
And they'll grow up to be a serial killer and all that. And like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It may sound like, oh my God, for us to say this, but like there's a very easy solution here.
There seems to be a pretty solid solution. But yeah, that's also where the tension falls apart is, okay, you set up a reason for Frey to be able to attack her at any moment. Mm-hmm. Even though we already did that in the last movie because she daydreams.
Yep.
But here it's like, he can attack her anytime. Anyway, here's 30 minutes of just talking.
Yeah. You yeah, you lose momentum. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
You lose any tension. The way to keep tension is to show there's a reason for tension to be there.
Yeah, there has to be a credible threat, and you set up it can attack you anytime, and then if it doesn't do that, then it's not really a threat, is it?
Which also thinking about it as it's a double-edged sword because the whole thing that's scary about Nightmare on Elm Street is you're attacked in your sleep. You can't do anything. You're sleeping.
Yep.
But if it just happens at any time, then Freddy's just a normal serial killer. Like, he's still supernatural, but if he can get you at any time...
That is true.
He's just a dude with a knife.
Yeah, like, I get you're trying to, like, this is the 5th movie. We have to do something besides what we did before. But at the same time, yeah, like, that's what kind of set this series apart from other series, huh? Man.
And, again... At the start of the fucking movie, Amanda tells her, go to the tower. And then she doesn't.
She literally just doesn't until at the end of the movie. Oh, yeah, the tower.
Actually, she doesn't even go. Yvonne does.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, hey, maybe you should listen to the person who was able to fight off the demon.
Yeah. God, just kind of a mess, honestly.
I have seen horror movies that are clearly cash grabs or were rushed. This is a movie that feels like a cash grab and rushed because it is.
Yeah.
But you can just feel it at every minute, and it's so tiring.
It is. It's tiring and it's infuriating. It feels very like the studio was much heavily interfering, which they were, and there just wasn't much thought behind it. Like, this was released only a year after the last movie.
Also, we technically covered this director before because he also did Predator 2, which was a much better movie.
Yep, he did that one, I think, right after that. I think this was his second movie, and Predator 2 was his third.
Well, at least he learned, I guess.
Yeah. But, yeah, it really does just feel like a shameless cash grab because the last one was like one of the highest grossing one in the series, and now we have to keep bringing in that money.
It's just... And I keep saying it's exhausting. I was legit tired after this movie was done. I was like, man, I can just go right the fuck to bed after this.
Yeah, it was absolutely one of those movies that just sucked the energy right out of you.
When we do our final spin of the series wheel, this is last. Like, there is... Yeah. We already know how we feel about Frey's dead.
Yes.
This is dead last.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. But... yeah, I don't know if there's honestly much else to add to that. Just bad.
Trying to think. Oh, I think also having the friends not believe her is just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the 4th movie was nice enough to get around that of her friends being like, or at least her brother being like, okay, I believe you, just calm down.
Yeah, there was someone there who was supportive and all that, but like... this is another one of the things where, like, we did this before. Can we move past this in the sequel and just have everyone on the same page? No, for pretty much the first 2/3 of the movie, Yvonne does not believe her.
Also, wait a sec. They're in the same school as her. Like, she didn't change high schools after the last movie. They had to have fucking heard about the murders before.
Yeah. Didn't the last events happen? Why does no one believe her?
Oh, did you people just forget that week when 4 students died in weird, horrific accidents?
Yeah, and people were talking
also about... tied to the same girl?
Yep. And also people talking about Freddy Krueger? Like, what? This is not a coincidence. God.
I'm sure it's been 2 years, but I think you'd remember that.
Yeah. You have a person here who was, in fact, directly involved with that.
You had 2 people, because Dan was involved too.
Yeah. Like, the if you think for more than 2 seconds, the movie just falls apart.
It's just so... It's just bad. It's so fucking bad.
That's about it.
I'm glad it's over.
I am too. Thank God we're past that.
But, well, I guess we're not fully done yet.
Yeah.
Because as we've always done, we have to rate this movie with the system we always use. So, Cameron,
Yes.
what kind of night drive is this movie? On a scale from gridlock traffic with jeeps and trucks blasting LEDs to a cool night with open roads and orange streetlights.
Oh, gridlocked with LEDs and stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, gridlocked LEDs. Also, there's like 6 people all blaring the worst music around
Yep.
you.
You're already tired from a long day. You just want to get home. Just no.
Yeah, this isn't even a nice drive at
Yeah.
night to relax. This is I'm coming home from an overly long shift at work.
Yeah, exactly. Just nah.
Anyway, we're done with it. Yay!
Oh, thank God! I can feel happiness again.
Well, we'll see if that's true because as we have a gimmick on this show.
That we do.
And this time, and we're getting off the series wheel. I know we did an extra one here. It's because of a timing thing. If you want to peek behind the curtain, I'm moving soon, so we wanted to record a bunch of episodes beforehand. So when my room is emptier, there's not a horrible echo with me. I mean, there kind of still is a bit of reverb, but it would be much worse.
Yeah.
But luckily we're meeting up in June, so you're going to have more person-to-person episodes.
Woo! Get that quality.
Because we also have already done this year's movie month.
Yes.
Anyway, we are back on the director's wheel. And usually I do a gimmick of saying that it's nothing like the series wheel where it's even easy to explain. However, we're down to technically 7 movies.
Yes.
So what we got left is M, Miss Bala, Persepolis, Deep Red, Fallen Angels, The Hurt Locker, and Lords of Dogtown.
All right.
Which means it is time to spin. Okay, we're gonna finish the work of Satrapi with Persepolis.
All right.
Finishing with her first movie. So
Yeah. Pretty dang cool. So stay tuned for that.
I don't have a joke to cut off.
Well,